Morning, guys. Day 305. Kind of tired this morning. A little out of it, too. Fell asleep about 4 o'clock and was planning on sleeping in. Nope, phone woke me up at 8 o'clock. So, been up since then, and it's almost 9 now. I went to make coffee, and I'm so out of it, forgot to put water in. I go back, 10 minutes later, go to pour a cup. Nothing. So that's going. I'll be ready when I get back. Not too much going on today. I need to bang out the rest of the cigar shoot that I got waiting. And there's still no real big hurry on that, but I'd like to get it back to them. And I don't know when they'll have the next batch for me because they're having problems with their drop ship supplier. I was going to go get an oil change because I got a coupon for $17 from the dealer. That's a real good deal. Expires the end of the year. And I was going to go up this morning, and I forgot it's Sunday and they're closed. So I'll have to do it real early tomorrow. They open at 7:30, so I'll get there right when they open because I don't have time to be waiting around a dealership all day. And usually if I show up any place like that, when they first open, you get right in, no waiting. Or they'll get you ahead of anything waiting because sometimes they need parts for another car that's in for service. And other than that, I'm not doing that, but I need to go get a new mouse pad. I use this really big one. I've been doing these for years. I don't use a regular mouse pad. I get the huge ones that are like 14, 16 inches long, 12, 14 inches wide, so it's a big rectangle. It's more than just a mouse pad, and it's comfortable because I can rest my whole forearm on it, and it goes all the way to the edge of the desk, so there's no pressure, and it's not that I need it. Mouse pads haven't been needed for many years for the mice. They were designed for the roller balls way back in the day. Kids watching have no idea what I'm talking about. But it introduces a little bit of friction to the mouse, which is very important for precision control. And I have a very high resolution laser mouse. It's designed for gaming, but I don't use it for gaming. I use it for Photoshop and editing. And having that extreme fine control on a very high resolution monitor is a very powerful combination. You could also use a pen and a tablet and a Wacom, but I never got into those. I don't find it naturally conducive to my style of editing, and that's pretty much the way it goes. You're either a trackball person, a mouse person, or a tablet person. I don't know anybody that mix and matches any of those. So when you find the one that you're best at, you're usually really good with it. I know some people that have insane talent with tablets, and I just can't get it. It's not natural to me. And trackballs I've always hated. I don't know too many people that like them, but those that do like them, they love them, So whatever you're good at, find the best equipment you can for it. And for me, the mouse I use, it's either the G5 or the G500 from Logitech. It's discontinued, I'll tell you that. And I bought 2 of them the last time. My last one died was a few years ago, so I bought 2 because they'd already been discontinued at the time. So I found some, and you can still find some now, but they're marked up insanely high. They're very accurate mice, and they're a little special because they have a weight case that you can pop out the bottom, and they've got like these little lead shot weights, so you can adjust the feel of the mouse in your hand, and it just fits large hands like mine perfectly. It's just the perfect mouse. And hopefully these last me a long time, or they come out with something comparable. I really didn't care for the replacement as much. They were still really good, but I like this older one better, just the way the buttons fit. So anyway, the mouse pad gives me a little bit of resistance. Instead of being on a relatively slick surface like a table, and I end up having it so precise that I really don't have to move my arm or my wrist that much, and that's very important for repetitive stress injuries. I pretty much can go across the whole screen just with my fingertips like this, with extreme precision, because it doesn't have any real momentum. It's just the right resistance. So it's nothing special. The mouse pad is like $3-4, but they're hard to find this size. The last one I got was down at CompUSA years ago, so I'm going to go back down there. It's Tiger Direct now, but they're like the only place around here with computer parts. Best Buy doesn't carry anything other than a couple, designer ones. Walmart doesn't carry. Nobody's carrying a selection of mouse pads, let alone these huge ones. So hopefully they still have some. It's just a pain in the ass going down there because it's about a 20-25 minute drive one way, as opposed to everything else that's right around here. But I don't have a choice, because unfortunately my mouse pad now, it's starting to fray around the edges where your arm hits it. I mean, it lasts a long time. It's been probably a good 6 years at least since I bought this one, so it did have a good run. But what really killed it was I must have spilled coffee on it or something. It's like the creamer has soaked into it and made it sticky. It's like a combination of soap and gum, and it won't wash out. I've tried my orange hand cleaner, I tried Dawn. It looks real clean when I wash it, and then as soon as it dries, there's this white film. I know that sounds really bad, but it's not. And it just gets all over. Okay, it sounds really bad too. You get the idea. Anyway, I need a new mouse pad. So, to answer a question yesterday, how far are my walks? Depends on the day, 1 to 3 miles. And bike rides are 2 to 4 miles. Really depends on, I go for time more than mileage. So I make things 15 to 30 minutes, just depending on how much time I have and what I feel like doing. So I don't find it's that critical which one I do. And honestly, I don't find that critical how long I do it. It's the weight loss part of it, for me, is much more tied to my diet. I'm just keeping the exercise here for, general health, but I'm not trying to shed pounds from it. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's working for me so far, and that's that. Oh, and I'll give you a little tip here on your home theater equipment or anything in your living room. I like things to work right and things to look nice. And I am bugged by really bright displays. When you're trying to watch a movie and you see this big honking bright display, what you're seeing now is actually pretty dim. It's because I'm using the phone and it's auto-exposing pretty bright. Let me turn on receiver here. Now what I've got going for lights is the cable box. That's the blue middle display, and then the receiver. You can see the TV's awfully bright, so those, in comparison, the lights are pretty dim. So it looks good. Your eye doesn't go to it. The receiver here, and many other receivers, are dimmable. This is on setting, I believe, 2 of 4. So it's fairly dim. Goes a little bit dimmer, then it's actually a little hard to read from the couch. So I've got it just bright enough where I can use it, but it's not so bright where it's distracting when you're watching a movie in the dark. The cable box was not dimmable. You could change the color of the display, and you could change what was displayed, clock or channel setting, but it was really bright. So here's what I did and what I've done to other devices in the past that aren't dimmable. You just buy a little strip of window tinting. And this is, I think, a 30% gray. You could get darker. You could get limo tint. And it's just static cling plastic. It's not tape. You can see the difference. That's all it takes. And then you're not bugged by the overly bright displays, and it completely disappears. You can't see it's on the display at all because it's all smoked glass, and you don't even know it's there. Very, very cheap. I just literally cut out a little square from some film that I had on a back window. You never even miss it. Well, remember how I said they weren't popular anymore? I guess that now applies to even Tiger Direct. Even though they got tons of parts and components, they have a total of 5 mouse pads, and they're all small. So it looks like I get to mail order one. Oh well. I'm going to hit the grocery store because there's a new recipe I want to try out. I still have to do that vegetarian chili. I just haven't been in the mood for chili yet. But NBC just put out their list of the top recipes for 2013, and one of them looked pretty intriguing. It was a healthy paprika shrimp paella. Paella. I said Panera bread on my brain. I can't speak. Anyway, it's got shrimp, and I'm going to change the recipe up a little bit and use turkey sausage. They were using some other stuff, but I think it should come out pretty good, and it's going to be just basically a big one-pot meal. So I'll give that a shot this afternoon. Well, I might as well try these guys. It's on the way home. And there's kind of a Staples on the way home too. We'll see. Aha! Success! You can see the size difference. That's a normal one in blue. And the black has twice the surface area. This one's just a hair smaller than the one I have, because the one I have is about 2 inches longer on one side, but this is a square. That's actually a better fit on my desk, so I'm getting 2 of them just in case. They're $11 a piece, but I don't want to have to fish around for one in a few years when I need another one. Score! They were on sale. $19 for both of them, out the door. Eee! On to the grocery store. Well, I'll tell you what, this better be a damn good recipe, and you guys better like this video because I just spent $50 in ingredients to make a relatively small pot. This isn't going to be one of the big ones that I usually do, because it requires a lot of specialty stuff. It requires the biggest shrimp you can get. Luckily they were on sale, so I got 1 bag of those for $9. It requires 2 kinds of paprika, both sweet, which is just called paprika, and smoked. And of course the smoked is $8 a jar, and they only have 1 brand to choose from. You won't find it in store brands. And then it also requires saffron threads, which, if you haven't used them, they're just like little tiny, literally like little threads. $16 a jar. I'm going to use one of these little ones inside for this batch. Insane. Of course, this is the main filler ingredient. I think it's called, or pronounced, quinoa. Might be quinoa. Something like that. Anyway, it's a health food kind of thing. I'll see how it tastes. To me, it kind of looks like rice or barley. But $8 for this little thingamabob. The rest of the stuff is pretty normal. They didn't have chicken sausage, so I got turkey. Probably just as good. And I'm not a huge pea fan, so I went with the petite peas, just because it changes the texture a little bit, but the same kind of flavor. And they didn't have any fresh yellow peppers, so I did all green. Shouldn't be any big deal there. It's mainly for color. Just an onion, some low sodium chicken broth, and no salt added diced tomatoes. And then salt, pepper, a couple other little spices that I had, and that'll do it. So I'll cook this up this afternoon. Might have the video tonight or tomorrow.